Welcome to my dear student. Myself Shiva Prasad Pandey, lecturer in mathematics of Nalanda Vidya Mandir, plus 2 Science College, Berhampur. Dear children, I am fine and I hope you are also fine. Everyone knows what type of situation now going on. That's why we are unable to provide in general classes. So our organization takes some alternative process for you. Now, today we will discuss about mathematics for class 12th. Mathematics for class 12th, that is plus 2 second year science. Mathematics for class 12th, that is plus 2 science. Science or arts? Science, second year. And today's topic or chapter is matrices. Now we go through it. Now matrix is the singular form of matrices. The term matrix was first introduced by J.J. Sylvester in 1850. The term matrix was introduced by J.J. Sylvester in 1850. But in 1858, English mathematician developed the system of theory of matrices. First matrix introduced by J.J. Sylvester in 1850, but in 1858 English mathematician Arthur Cayley developed the system of the theory of matrices. Now, introduction of matrix. Suppose there are three full tests in subject math, physics, chemistry and biology. Suppose there are three tests, unit 1, unit 2 and unit 3. First subject physics, chemistry, math and biology. Physics, chemistry, math and biology, and unit test 1, unit test 2 and unit test 3. Now, your score in respective unit and subject are like in physics, first unit test, your score in physics is 65, and in chemistry 68, in mathematics 95, and in biology say 67. First unit test, your score, you also secure physics 65, in chemistry 68, in mathematics 95, and biology 67. Similarly, unit test 2, your score in physics is 68, in chemistry 72, in also math 77, and biology you can achieve 68. Similarly, unit test 3, your score is like 63, and in chemistry 62, in mathematics 98, and also biology 69. Now these data are your score in respective units and also subject. From the above data, we are observed the data are in arranged some lines. Data are arranged in some lines, but there are two types of lines. The first unit test in your physics 65, in chemistry 68, in math 95, and biology 62. This is our one type of line. In unit test 3, all subjects mark are in a line, and in unit test 3, all subjects of mark are also in line, in this line. So these lines are known as vertical line. These lines are known as vertical line, and all the unit tests where score in physics is 65, 68, and 63. Now these data are also arranged in a line, but these lines are known as vertical line, and these lines are known as horizontal line. These lines known as horizontal line, and these lines are known as vertical lines. Now all the horizontal lines are known as rows. Horizontal lines are known as rows, and vertical lines are known as columns. These horizontal lines are known as our rows, and the vertical lines are known as columns. Now we go through what is matrix and definition of matrix, and then how can represent a matrix or representation of a matrices. Definition of matrix. A matrix is an ordered rectangular array of some numbers or some functions. What is matrix? Now a matrix is an ordered rectangular array. Of some numbers or function. From the above example, we are arranged some data in some horizontal line and also some vertical lines. This is our ordered rectangular array. We can say that arrangement of data is rectangular array. if some numbers are arranged in that way, we can say that is the array of rectangular array. And a matrix is an ordered rectangular array of numbers or some functions. That means some numbers of function, some numbers or functions arranged in a fixed number of rows and columns. Is some numbers are arranged in some rows and columns, that is also known as matrix. Now, the elements, the numbers or functions, the numbers or functions occurring in a matrix is known as elements or entries of the matrix. तो देखो आमे किछि डाटा को आमे अरेंज करिया ताको किछि रो करिवा आ किछि कॉलम करिवा तो से डाटा जाक को जो डाटा ने के आमे मैट्रिक्स गुटे तैयार करिवा से मैट्रिक्स रे जो नंबर जा रहला ताको आमे मैट्रिक्स रे कोन कहबा एलिमेंट और एंट्रीज. ओके, नाउ द ऑर्डर ऑफ हाउ कैन वी रिप्रेजेंट ए मैट्रिक्स. The representation of matrix, or how can write a matrix. The representation of matrix means how can write or represent a matrix, and order of matrix. Representation and order of matrix. In generally matrices are represent or denoted by A, B, C, T, that means in generally matrix can be denoted by capital letter, that is matrix can be denoted by capital letter like A, B, C, and elements of matrices are within brackets. That is, matrix can be denoted by capital letter like A, B, C, D, and its elements or entries or numbers or functions are written in within brackets. That bracket must be square, that must be square bracket, like this is our square bracket, or round bracket. That is, this. We can arrange or write all the data or information within square bracket or round bracket. Then representation of matrix. Representation of matrix means how can we represent or write a matrix. Let, for example, we are arranged mn numbers. Suppose we are arranged how many elements? Mn numbers of elements in a rectangular array of m rows and l columns. We can arrange how many number of element? Mn number of. Mn means m is any number, any natural number, and n is also any natural. Mn are any natural number. We can multiply m into n. The total number of element is mn. That numbers of element can be arranged in how many rows? M rows and n column. That can be represent or written A is equal to A11, A12, A13, A1n. That means this is our first column, this is our second column, this is our third column. So this is first column, second column, third column. Here you can write n. Therefore this indicate in this matrix this is our nth column. Now we are consider the matrix having how many columns? N columns. Therefore we can write A11. A11 means this element shows the position of the element in the given matrix. This is our first row and first column. This element shows its position in matrices first row, second column. This is our first row, third column, and dot 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 so on. This is our first row and column. Similarly, we can write all the elements in this matrix. That is, this is our second row, this is our first row, and this is our second row. Then we can write this is our second row, first column. This is our second row, second column. This is our third row, third column. Dot dot dot. And how can write here a second row means 2, and what is the number? N. The position of this element is second row and n column. Similarly, in third row, this is our A31, that is third row, first column, A32, A33, dot dot dot, A3n. How many rows in this matrix? How many rows? M rows. How many rows? M rows. This is our first row, this is our second row, this is our third row, dot 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 dot. This is our nth row. Therefore, we can write A M1. This is our A M2 means mth row and second column. Dot 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 dot. A M3. Dot 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 dot. This is our in which row this element belongs to which row? First row, second row, third row, fourth row. This is our mth row and nth column. Therefore, we can write it A Mn. Okay. Therefore, the total number of elements present in this matrix. How many rows? M rows and n columns. Therefore, total number of element is Mn. Okay. आमे देखो गोटे मैट्रिक्स तैयारी करबा सेथे आमे फिक्स्ड नंबर ऑफ रो और फिक्स्ड नंबर ऑफ कॉलम नबा है ना आ पर जीवा में तो फिक्स्ड नंबर ऑफ रो और फिक्स्ड नंबर ऑफ कॉलम जो कंसीडर करतिबा ताको हमें कोन कहबे दैट इज आवर ऑर्डर तो आमे देखिबा ऑर्डर ऑफ ए मैट्रिक्स order of a matrix. Now we will go through order of the matrix. Order of the matrix means in a matrix how many number of rows and how many number of columns. That is the order of matrix. In a matrix having m number of rows, a matrix having m number of rows and n number of columns, then we say the order of the matrix is m cross n. This is our, we can write or denote the order of the matrix is m cross n if the matrix having m rows and n columns, having m rows and n columns. Okay, now go through the types of order. We can write that A is equal to A11, A12, A13 and this is our first row and third column. There are one row and three columns. The order of matrix can be written as 1 cross 3. And if we write order of the matrix is m cross n, when we write the order of matrix is m cross n, if a matrix having m rows and n columns, m rows and m columns. Here we observe this is our single row. This is our single row. Therefore, this is our 1 and how many columns? 3 columns. Therefore, order of this matrix is 1 cross 3. And the order of matrix m cross n is read as m cross n or m by n. Order matrix means m cross n or m by n. That is, this matrix consists of one row and 3 columns. Therefore, order of matrix is 1 cross 3. But we cannot write this is equal to 3. It is a wrong process. We know 1 multiplied by 3 is 3. But we cannot write 3. But we cannot multiply 1 into 3. It shows in a matrix how many number of rows and how many number of columns. Therefore, in this matrix 1 row and 3 column, this indicates the given matrix having 1 row and 3 columns. Now, here one question. If we take six number of chairs, 6 chairs, and we can arrange it. Then First, this is first chair, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. The sixth chair can be also arranged in this way. This is known as all chairs are put in horizontal line. Put in horizontal line. Therefore, the order of the matrix is 1 cross 6. If now another matrix can be arranged contains 6 number of chairs. For example, if this is our one chair and this is another chair, this is also another. That means the chairs are arranged in two line, two vertical line, and two horizontal line, two lines. This is our first horizontal line and this is our second horizontal line, and three vertical lines. The order of the matrix is 2 cross 3. Similarly, we can arrange each horizontal line consists of 2 chairs. Therefore, the total number of chairs can be arranged in this way. Thus, the 6 chairs are arranged in this way. Here, 3 rows and 2 columns. Therefore, the number of order of the matrix is 3 cross 2. And we can also arrange in this way also. All chairs are arranged in first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. Therefore, the order of this matrix is 6 cross 1. We will take 6 chairs, but how many different ways can we arrange? The 4 different ways. First is 1 row 6 column, and second one is 2 rows 3 column, and third one is 3 rows 2 columns, and fourth one is 6 rows 2 columns. Therefore, 6 chairs can be arranged in 4 different order of matrices. We can construct 4 different of matrices. Now, types of matrix. Matrices. Types of matrices. First one is Rho matrix. First one is Rho matrix. When we say a matrix is a Rho matrix. A matrix having only one row and number of columns. A matrix having only one row and number of columns, then we say that is known as, or we can say that is Rho matrix. The example of Rho matrix is A, B, C. Here is C. In this matrix, how many rows? Only one row and 3 columns. The order of the matrix is 1 cross 3. And we write another matrix 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here, how many rows? Only one row, a single row. And how many columns? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 columns. So, order of the matrix is 1 cross 5. Always, in a row matrix, the number of rows must be 1 and columns maybe 2, 3, 5, dot, 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 maybe n. Then, the general order of the general form of order of a Rho matrix is 1 cross n. Generally, the form of order of a Rho matrix is 1 cross n, where n is the number of columns in a matrix. This matrix is known as Rho matrix. That is, in simple, आमे जदि गोटे मैट्रिक्स रे खाली गोटे रो देखिबा नंबर ऑफ कॉलम देखिबा ताको सेम टाइप ऑफ मैट्रिक्स को हम कहबा रो मैट्रिक्स. नाउ कॉलम मैट्रिक्स. Column matrix. In a when we say matrices, column matrix, thus in a matrix, number of column is 1, but number of row may be 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. That is, a matrix is said to be a column matrix if the it consists of one column and number of rows, or simply say a matrix having only one column. For example, A, B, C. This is a matrix, only one column and 3 rows. Therefore, order of the matrix is 3 cross 1. And another matrix, A, B. Here, 2 rows, but number of column is 1. Therefore, order of the matrix is 2 plus 1. Another matrix, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here, 5 number of rows and only 1 column. Therefore, order of the matrix is 5 cross 1. 5 cross 1. So, in generally, order of the column matrix is M cross 1, where M is the number of rows. M is the number of rows. Okay. Now we go through rectangular matrix. Third one is rectangular matrix. What is rectangular matrix? Now, in a matrix, number of row is not equal to number of column, then we say that matrix is known as rectangular matrix. That means in a matrix, number of rows and number of columns are not equal. In a matrix, if number of rows is not equal to number of columns, we say that is rectangular matrix. In a matrix, if number of rows is not equal to number of columns, number of row and number of row columns are not equal, then you say that matrix is known as simply rectangular matrix. For example, of rectangular matrix. A, B, C, D, E, F. Here number of rows 2 and number of column 3, therefore 2 is not equal to 3. This is the example of rectangular matrix. Here 3 number of rows, 2 number of column, therefore we can also say, therefore this is also rectangular matrix. Okay? Square matrix. Can you say what is square matrix or Gus? In a matrix, square means same length, same breadth. Therefore, in a matrix, the number of rows and number of columns are equal. In a matrix, the number of rows and number of columns are equal. Then we say that matrix is known as square matrix. The number of rows and number of columns the number of rows and number of columns in a matrix, number of rows and number of columns in a matrix is equal, then we say that is our square matrix. But every square matrix can be considered as a rectangular matrix, but rectangular matrix cannot be say square matrix. The example of square matrix: 2, 3, 4, 5. Here number of rows is row 1, row 2, and number of column also column 1, column 2. Therefore, order of the matrix is 2 cross 2, or we can write is order of the matrix is 2. That means that is a matrix and that is also square matrix having number of rows is 2 and also number of column is also 2. That is, this matrix A can be considered as a square matrix of order 2. Now we can write a square matrix of order 4. A square matrix, The example of square matrix of order 4. That means square matrix of order 4. That means number of rows 4 and column also 4. A, B, C, D, or A1, B1, C1, D1. 4 columns and also 4 rows A2, B2, C2, D2, A3, B3, C3, D3, A4, B4, C4, D4. This is a square matrix of order 4. We can write order of this matrix is 4 cross 4 or order 4. Okay? Now, null matrix. Null matrix means in a matrix all elements are 0. All elements are 0. Then we say that matrix is known as null matrix. In a matrix, every element in a matrix, every elements are 0. Then we say that is, then we say that is 0 matrix or null matrix. Null matrix is denoted by 0 matrix or null matrix is denoted by if a matrix written as 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. This is our 0 matrix. Why? Now every element of this matrix is 0. Therefore, this matrix can be denoted by O. What is the order of this matrix? 2 cross 3. Therefore, O2 cross 3 is equal to this. If you write O 3 cross 3, 0 order 3 cross 3 in this matrix. This is a indicates 0 matrix and number of rows is 3 and number of column also 3. Therefore, we can write this matrix O 0, 3 3 matrix is 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0. Okay, this is our 0 matrix. 0 matrix means every element of a matrix 0. Okay. So now आम बर्तमान टी स्क्वायर मैट्रिक्स विषय और टिके देखिए टिके मुझे छाड़ दिल तब मैं देखो स्क्वायर मैट्रिक्स in a square matrix number of rows is equal to number of rows is equal to number of columns. In a square matrix, number of rows is equal to number of columns. यदि number of column और rows is same मिला, तो हम square matrix कहते हैं ना? तो let consider a square matrix of order n. Consider a square matrix of order n. Order n means there are n number of rows and n number of columns. That matrix can be denoted by Aij of m cross n cross n, number of rows n and number of columns also n, in which that can also denoted by A11, A12, A13, A1n, A21, A22, A23, A2n, A31, A32, A33, A3n. How many rows? N number of rows. Therefore, last row can be denoted by or written as n1, an2, an3, ann. This is our square matrix. Now, we observe in this matrix, in this square matrix, A11, A22, A33, ann. These elements are in this matrix. These elements are known as diagonal elements. Here I and j are equal. That means in the square matrix in which I is equal to j, those elements are known as diagonal elements. A11, A22, A33, ann. These are our diagonal elements, and this line is known as main diagonal or principal diagonal. Those elements lie on this line, they are our diagonal elements. So A11, A22, A33, ann are diagonal elements. In generally, Aij is a diagonal element if I is equal to j, and if I is not equal to j, they are our off diagonal elements or non-diagonal elements. In which I is equal to j, they are our diagonal elements, and if I is equal to j, they are our diagonal element. If I is not equal to j, they are our off diagonal or non-diagonal elements. Now diagonal matrix. What is our diagonal matrix? A square matrix is said to be a diagonal matrix. A square matrix is said to be a diagonal matrix. A square matrix is said to be a diagonal matrix if Aij is equal to 0 if I is not equal to 0. I is not equal to 0. Aij is equal to 0 if I is not equal to 0. In other words, we can say a matrix, a square matrix is said to be a diagonal matrix if its off diagonal elements are 0. तो हम गोटे स्क्वायर मैट्रिक्स को कितने डायगोनल मैट्रिक्स कहबा ना स्क्वायर मैट्रिक्स रे डायगोनल एलिमेंट जगह में कोन जानले कोन ना a11 a22 a33 a44 dot 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 an. This diagonal elements and others are our off diagonal elements. In a matrix off diagonal elements are 0, then you say that matrix is known as diagonal matrix. For example, 1 0 0 0 2 0 0 0 4. This is a square matrix of order 3. This is a square matrix of order 3, and this square matrix is known as diagonal matrix because this is our off diagonal elements, all are 0. This is our diagonal. Except diagonal elements, all the elements of a square matrix are 0, then we say that is our diagonal matrix. For example, 1 0 0 5. This is also a diagonal matrix of order 2. Now we go through scalar matrix. Scalar matrix. When you say a matrix is said to be a scalar matrix, first that matrix must be a square matrix. Then all the diagonal elements are constant or same. Then we say that matrix is our scalar matrix. We can define it from square matrix and also diagonal matrix. In general, define from square matrix. In a square matrix, all the off diagonal elements are 0, and in a square matrix all the off diagonal elements are 0 and diagonal elements are constant or same. All the diagonal elements are constant or same. For example, 2 0 0 0 2 0 0 0 2. This is square matrix of order 3. Here all the diagonal elements are same and off diagonal elements are 0. Therefore it is a scalar matrix. And 1 0 0 0 0 minus 1 0 0 0 3 sorry 0 0 3 0 0 0 0 5. This is not a diagonal matrix. This is not a scalar matrix. This is a diagonal matrix. Its diagonal elements are different. So you cannot say this is our scalar matrix. Okay. Now we go identity or unit matrix. This is very important. Identity matrix or unit matrix. देखो हमें identity matrix और unit matrix क्या होगा? हमें we can define identity matrix or unit matrix from square matrix or diagonal matrix, or we can define from scalar matrix. First में बुझियो unit matrix हमें कहाँ को कहवा? देखो गोटे स्क्वायर मैट्रिक्स हेथिबो स्क्वायर मैट्रिक्स रे डायगोनल एलिमेंट जाको 1 हेथिबो और ऑफ डायगोनल एलिमेंट जाको 0 हेथिबो, देन वी से दैट इज आवर यूनिट मैट्रिक्स. इन ए स्क्वायर मैट्रिक्स इन ए फर्स्ट इज स्क्वायर मैट्रिक्स तो इन ए स्क्वायर मैट्रिक्स डायगोनल एलिमेंट्स आर 1 और यूनिटी. इन ए स्क्वायर मैट्रिक्स diagonal elements are unity or 1, unity or 1, and of diagonal elements are 0. Then we say that is identity or unit matrix. If a square matrix of order 2, then we can denote it I2. Generally identity matrix denoted by if it is the square matrix of order 2 and its diagonal elements are 1 and of diagonal elements are 0, we can write it I2. I2 is equal to 1 0 0 1. Similarly, in a third order unit matrix can be denoted by third order unit matrix. Unit matrix can be denoted by I, and this 3 it denotes the order of the matrix. I3 means unit matrix of order 3. Therefore, I3 can be represent 1 0 0 0 1 0 0 0. Okay. Today we will discuss about what is matrix and types of matrix. Okay. Thank you.